How often do you say, I should do something? I should ring my mum. I should have done this. I should have done that. Are you aware that most of the times that you say, I should, may have a guilt emotion attached to that, which you push down? Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, it's great to have you. If you're returning, it's good to see you. Today is all about guilt. Like, what is guilt? Why do we carry guilt? How do we release guilt? And really, what throughout our journey in life really gets us to attain and hold guilt. As you can see, I'm filming from somewhere else, but I wanted to make sure that I absolutely get a video out every day, and the idea has come through and it's flowing. And after doing a lot of research, how much guilt are you actually carrying that's causing toxicity in your body? I absolutely know that I have discussed this topic before, but it really comes from how much guilt are we actually accumulating in our daily lives that we may not be even consciously aware of. And what I really discovered was anything attached to the word should can cause you to carry guilt. So should can equal guilt. I should have called my mum. I feel bad. I should have done that at work and I'm going to be in trouble. I told my boss I did it. I should have done this. I should have done that. That's one. And then how much guilt do we carry if we've told a little white lie to someone because you couldn't be bothered catching up? How many other little white lies do we share because we just can't be bothered or for whatever reason? And when we share a white lie, and it's only little and it doesn't hurt anyone, but do we feel guilty for that white lie? And if that's the case, that's more guilt that you're compounding to the guilt bucket that you already have in here. Why is it that we do that? Why do we do that to ourselves? Is it because it's just easier? Is it because we're unaware? I'm going to share it's all of those things. It's a culmination of things why we carry guilt. Predominantly, I really want to discuss about the guilt that we carry from years back. What guilt are you still carrying that's impacting you today? How does that define who you are today? How does that impact your relationship, the relationship with your children, the relationship with family, with friends? All because of there's unhealed and unreleased guilt. And then what makes it worse is every day in your life you could be adding to that bucket and compounding it. And as I write, it's so important that at some point that guilt bucket is going to be full. And then if we don't look when the guilt arises to the conscious awareness and we don't work through it and heal it and release it and maybe apologize to someone that we needed to release that guilt, or sit with self and really be accountable for ourselves, for our own actions. We even carry guilt about ourselves. What guilt are you carrying? Is it that, you set a New Year's resolution, and it may have been to really commit to self. It could be to lose weight. It could be to get fit. It could be to get a new job. Are you carrying guilt over that because you haven't done that yet? Are you starting to see how easy it is to carry guilt? And that we're adding, and it's often we just dismiss it because we feel it's so insignificant. It's so small, right? It's not about the size. Guilt is guilt. And some guilt clearly weighs far heavier than others. However, it is still guilt being compounded in the bucket. So what are you going to do about it? Are you aware, number one, are you aware how much guilt you carry? Are you aware, can you identify what you carry guilt over, right? What are you feeling guilty for? And I'm going back years. We got to go back to the beginning. What's in the base? And that may come after you do all the other layers. So maybe start from today, work your way back to years ago. It's reflection. It's quietening your mind and really going inward. And it's not about what you think you feel guilty for. It's about what you feel guilty for. Guilt is an emotion. Yeah, we feel bad. What things have you said that you feel bad over? That has guilt attached to it. The emotion guilt attached to anything you feel bad for, you feel guilty for. Did you speak to someone yesterday a little bit disrespectful or have a bit of an anger tone, a bit of an aggressive tone? And today, because you're now emotionally balanced, you feel guilty for it. You feel bad for it. What actions are you going to do? Simply would be ringing up that friend and, saying, I'm really so sorry for the way that I spoke to you yesterday. It was never my intention to disrespect you. That's it. That's your apology. No excuses, no justification, and watch how you feel lighter when that person says thank you for that. You've just released that little bit of guilt. You can do that with anything in life. Sometimes it's our own laziness that it's just easy to sit in the guilt rather than own it and apologize for it or speak our truth. Then there is guilt for our actions. An example, and I feel guided to share this, is I carried a lot of guilt over my parenting, that my kids struggled in their adult life because of me, the mother that I was. I carried so much guilt. I should have done this. I should have done this. Why didn't I do that? Why didn't I do this? It's my fault that my kids are struggling in their adult life. I played into the blame game. Yeah? Where did that get me? Not very far. And it was sitting with self and really looking, going, you know what? I did the best that I could, that I knew how. I worked with the tools that I had. I wasn't shown. It's a repeat. It's not excusing. It's owning. I've shared this with my kids. And it's really looking at it, because holding guilt doesn't get me to move forward. I have apologized to my children. I can't change it, just as much as you more than likely cannot change certain things in your life. But what you can do for self, what I have, is shift the perspective that I look at it. What do I allow? How does feeling guilty serve me moving forward? I can't change any of it. What I can do is learn and grow from it. And what I now do is educate others from all the lessons that I had. And that's really one of the significant reasons why I became a relationship coach, so I could educate parents on what not to do. And how staying in a volatile relationship does not assist you nor your children. Because what environment are you creating for them? I wasn't aware of that. Did I intentionally set out to be the mother I was? No. None of my actions were intentional. Yeah? It will never excuse my behavior. Here, listen up. I'm not justifying. It doesn't excuse. But I am absolutely comfortable going, you know what, I did the best that I knew how in the time. Right or wrong, it is what it is. I cannot change it. What I can change is my emotional reaction to it, to release myself of all of that self-imposed guilt. That I should have been this. Why? Did I know? No. So how can I be something that I didn't know how to be? I hope that this really does resonate with some of you out there, and that you become kinder to self. That holding guilt is like putting a bomb inside you full of toxic energy. I'm just hearing toxicity. How much toxicity are you putting in your body every day through holding guilt? Guilt is the most destructive emotion that you can hold on to. It is like we've got this big ball, right? How many cords are you adding every day to that ball? that's holding it there? How many chains are you wrapping around it every time you say, I should? Unleash those chains. Choose to really look at it and release that guilt. It's the only way you're going to move forward. You can do all the personal development work. You can do all the mindset work. Yeah, great. But if you don't do that deep internal work and you don't rid that guilt and throw it out, it's always going to be there. We call it suppression for a reason. Yeah? So for today, I hope that you've got such a different perspective of guilt, and be really mindful that when the words should come out of your mouth, check if what emotions attached to that word should. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to instantly throw that away? You have the opportunity now. You have the awareness of, oh, if I say should, how am I feeling about that? What am I going to do to rectify it? What am I going to do to remedy it? Do I need to apologize to someone and just own my stuff? Do I need to be truthful rather than share the white lie? What am I going to do about it, and do it on a daily basis? Yeah? I hope that you got value from this video. And if you did, I'd be so grateful if you'd like the video, subscribe to my channel, and also click on the notifications bell so you'll be notified when I upload tomorrow's message of the day. Remember, you matter. You matter. You are your most valuable asset. So invest in you every day and rid that guilt. Start emptying that bucket. Release it. And I'm going to share with you the beautiful outcome of releasing the guilt is you will feel so much lighter. I almost will promise you that when you truly release the guilt. I want to thank you for spending your time with me, as I absolutely respect your time is valuable. So thank you. And like I said, you matter. It is time to release all that guilt. Do the work, do the internal work, and allow yourself that gift of just releasing all that stuff that you've been carrying for years. Years. So for today, take care.